Welcome. I'm Heather Mallon, Director of the Center for Brooklyn History at the Brooklyn Public Library. And it is a real thrill to be welcoming you to the New York City History Day Award Ceremony in 2022. The mission of the Center for Brooklyn History is to make our collective past accessible and meaningful for people today and for years to come. Your work on your History Day projects not only expands your own understanding of history, but the connections and insights you make help us all see the ways the past and present are in constant dialogue with one another. Thank you, students, for your incredible hard work and commitment to History Day. I am honored to be with you today in celebration of all you have accomplished. And it is now my great pleasure to introduce Nick Higgins, BPL's Chief Librarian.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Brooklyn Public Library, and congratulations on another extraordinary New York City History Day. My name is Nick Higgins, Chief Librarian of the Brooklyn Public Library. Now, each year, History Day provides over 500,000 middle and high school students from across the globe an opportunity to excel at historical research, interpretation, and creative expression. As part of a regional cohort, you've been able to interact with peers from across all 5 boroughs of the city and build relationships with a community of learners and educators, relationships that you'll be able to carry with you for years to come. This year, 220 students with the guidance of 36 teachers from 30 different schools across the 5 boroughs participated in New York City History Day. 53 judges volunteered their time to review 127 entries. And without their dedication and expertise, this contest would not be possible. So we have a great deal of appreciation for all the support given to the students from our remarkable teachers, judges, library staff, and of course, the parents and caregivers of all the students represented here. You are fully part of all the success showcased here today. The topics chosen by the students cover sports, arts, medicine, economics, and politics. The students look at race, gender, and LGBTQIA+ rights and representation from ancient times to the modern day, locally and abroad. During the award ceremony, please keep in mind and try to reflect on all the hard work that the students put into their projects, while also recognizing that teachers, parents, and our own Center for Brooklyn History staff have also put a lot of themselves into supporting their efforts. You have all built a community of learners. Each and every one of you have chosen to look into the past to not only interpret events as they had happened, but to gain a clearer sense of how you can use that knowledge to build a better world together moving forward. And before I applied for my first job at Brooklyn Public Library many years ago, I wasn't much older than some of you here in the audience, but I came up to the ramp of this magnificent library on Grand Army Plaza, strolling my daughter, who wasn't even a year old then. I was very much intimidated by the size of this building, the columns, the great door, and I didn't know if this was the place for me. But once I got inside, I immediately saw dozens of people of all different ages, backgrounds, abilities, and they were speaking 100 different languages all at once, all busy going from room to room, carrying armloads of books and constant conversation with one another. And I realized at that moment that this is where Brooklyn is. This is where the community is. It's where everyone is welcome and everyone has access, equal access to the tools needed to help themselves and others in their communities lead more fulfilled lives. This was the place for me. It was the community of learners all dedicated to one another's success. It is this promise of community building that gets me out of bed in the morning. It keeps me here at this library no matter what challenges are put in our way. And I just want to sincerely thank all of you here in this room for demonstrating that this promise can be achieved. Enjoy the day, everyone. Congratulations once again. This is your day, and we are so proud to be here to celebrate it with you. Thank you. Now, it is my honor to introduce New York City Comptroller Brad Lander. Over to you, Brad.
Hi, I'm New York City Controller Brad Lander, and I'm thrilled to be here to celebrate New York City History Virtual Awards Day. Thank you to the Brooklyn Public Library's Center for Brooklyn History for sponsoring this event that gives 500,000 middle and high school students the opportunity to do historical research, interpretation, creative expression. Big props to all 220 students who submitted 127 entries. Thanks to your teachers, thanks to the judges. Congratulations to the winners. Boy, this is a time when we really need to be paying attention to New York City's history. It's got a lot of lessons to teach us about how we responded to past pandemics and crises, and even more about how New Yorkers come together in those hard times to build a more inclusive and thriving future for all of us. Thanks to all of you. Big congratulations to the winners for showing us what our history has to teach us about how we build a brighter future.
Now to the live portion of our show. What's in a name? I ask you, what is in a name? My name is Damon Amir Scranton. Damon is spelled D-A-M-E-N. It's not like Damon Wayans or Matt Damon. It's D-A-M-E-N. So if I go to Germany or Austria, it says Damen on the women's restroom, and that's my first name. Amir is my middle name. Before 9/11, it was just kind of like a weird name. After 9/11, every time I flew, I had to go through a secondary inspection because my middle name was Amir. Scranton is a town in Pennsylvania where our president is from, Scranton Wilkes-Barre. And Scranton is my last name because that's where my father's 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 father was brought as a slave. And a lot of slaves took on the names of the first towns where they landed. So my name is Damon Amir Scranton, just so you know. But I'm really interested in names. That's how we started this piece called Color Between the Lines. It had a prelude, but the first lines were, what is in a name? Because I played a character named James Pembroke, who was born a slave. And then he escaped and moved to Brooklyn, New York City, and he changed his name to James Pennington. And he went on to earn degrees from Heidelberg University in Austria, not to make a full circle, but like, what's in a name? So I'm from Irondale Ensemble Project, and we made this piece called Color Between the Lines, which is about the history of abolitionism in Brooklyn. And it was built out of historical documents. We're gonna meet Jim and Michael, David, and Nolan in a few minutes, so you can hear from them, but it's an improv company. So we take source material and then we improvise it to make text and to make music and to make scenography into scenes. You'll see a little bit of it. I'll stop talking now, but I want you to keep thinking for the next 50 minutes or however long this lasts. What's in a name? And I teach 9-year-olds on Zoom, and we came up with a new game yesterday, and it's called, What Would Your Name Be If You Could Name Yourself? Because I would not name myself Damon Amir Scranton. I would actually name myself like Noah Blumenthal or something. But what's in a name? So let's look at a clip. This guy's name is James Hamlett. Talking about names, I'm a Shakespeare guy. And so when you say Hamlet, it makes me think. James Hamlet was also a slave who won his freedom and then had some struggles in Brooklyn during the 1840s. So let's look at this clip, and then we'll talk to Jim Neeson, who's our artistic director.
this story. Once upon a time there was a man, and he lived in Williamsburg. His name was James Hamlett. I said his name was James Hamlett, and he was a Brooklyn resident. He was a free man of color. I said he was a free man of color. So one day Mr. Hamlett stepped outside, walking down the bustling city street. He was taking in the fresh morning air, smiling as he passed everywhere, strolling on as he went on by. Are you James Hamlett? I am James. I am James Hamlett. What can I do for you? Well, Mr. Hamlett, you are a witness in a criminal case, and we need you to follow us. Right there at 58 Water Street, they arrested him. There was no criminal case, but there was Mr. Hamlett's race. Mr. Officer, why are you holding me? What are my charges? Explain so I can see. You are a runaway slave from Baltimore. We intend to return you to Mrs. Mary Brown. But I'm a free man of color. I was born a free man of color. Look, I have my papers. My grandmother, she keeps my papers. I can prove that I'm free. Although James Hamlett did clarify the fugitive slave law pacified a trial by judge or jury. It don't matter if your palm are filled with fury. The law clearly states that a runaway slave must go back to their master. Such a disaster. James Hamlett couldn't find his paper, so no one could help him, family or neighbor. They promptly took him back to Baltimore, so Williamsburg, Brooklyn is no more.
So I think, Jim, can people see you now?
So,
Jim Neeson is the artistic director of Irondale Ensemble Project. Tell us where that name came from, Irondale. What's in a name?
yeah. Irondale is a tiny, and it's grown tinier over the years since all the mines have closed up, village in Missouri. And my great-grandparents settled there 10 years before the Civil War. And they settled there because there was a town nearby called Bismarck, which is a town in Germany. And the people of Bismarck were very smart because they wanted good German farmers to come. And so they named the town before they got there. But so my great-grandparents moved to Irondale in the early 1850s. And by the time I came along and was a little boy in the 1950s, I would go there every summer from the day after school was out until the day before Labor Day, when I was 5 until I was 10. And I felt like I was Tom Sawyer. It was heaven. And
So I'm cutting you off because time is short. Just to say, this is Jim Neeson. He's the artistic director of Irondale Ensemble Project. Can you tell us a little bit about Irondale in terms of improv and how you create material?
I think that it really came out in many ways right out of this small little town where people didn't have much television, but every night neighbors would come and sit on the front porch and tell stories about the history of the town. Remember when Mr. Such and Such fell off the roof of the mill and died? Remember that room underneath your grandparents' basement is where people hid from the bushwhackers. These were all stories that really influenced what improvisation is, which is people sitting down and telling stories to keep other people interested. So you change your story a little bit because it has to go this way or go that way. And So we're a theater company, but we do what plays I would say are art plays that are really just based on that. We also do plays like Color Between the Lines, which use the tools of drama to tell, I think, really good historical stories. And in the end, like I was just watching this piece and saying, that's education, but that's also art. It hits me right in the face. And I think Preethi's job is just, it's really chilling when she tells that story.
Well, and it's really amazing too, because for those of you who don't know, Preethi is Jamaican, and so she sang that song kind of in her own voice, not having anything to do with James Hamlet, but it just worked. We call it a mashup, right? Use your own self and the material.
Well, one of the things that we did with the piece was, because there were so many people, there are kind of made up narratives where there'll be one person who did everything. One person who freed all these people or started this or did that. But the reality of the Brooklyn struggle was there were so many people they were kind of like the Lone Ranger in a way. They'd show up, they would do something, and then they were off going someplace else. And to put that all together was really difficult. But we did have the same actors there for the whole story. So we said, well, just take one of these people, as Preethi did, and make up a story about her, tell her story. And then what kind of music do you want? Because it's a musical theater, or not musical theater, but we're a very musical company. I want this. Preethi wanted that kind of music to go with it. So that's how the whole piece was created.
Talk a tiny bit about abolition as an ongoing struggle.
Oh, I think it's, as we can see today, these are things that never end. It's like you think something's been put to bed, but there's always something new that shows up. And I think there's also, as our awareness grows, where things that we thought it was done 30 years ago or 100 years ago, we did this one thing, and then we keep learning from these things that keep kind of popping through the canvas, that there are new things that need to be looked at, that go back and look at the history that was there before.
Right, so you just said the word canvas, which pops into my mind. Rima, can you put that in the chat, those two definitions? Jim educated me on two words, which are palimpsests and pentimenti. And one is a manuscript that you can see beneath another manuscript, and one is a painting that you can see beneath another painting. And I wonder if you can talk about that for 90 seconds in terms of what Irondale does and what theater can do in terms of opening the lens on history.
I think that it's the way that you live in something. The palimpsest or the story of that is that what are the things that are there from maybe a piece that we did 10 years ago or a book that we read that all of a sudden comes up and says, no, that's about now. We always say that every play that we do, right now we're doing a German play from the late 1930s, but we're saying this is a play about right now. We're not looking back at a separate historical thing, but we're looking at the history that's being made right now, that this play comes through, and they have a dialogue. They speak to each other through that, picking through the canvas or the manuscript that's almost erased and comes back.
It seems to me that a lot of the pieces that the students worked on were about that, like pieces in the now, but looking through the lens of history. And I think that's really interesting. I don't want to cut it short, but we got to move on.
I know. Yeah. Thank you. I had fun.
It's just the way it is. You can jump in if you need to. I want to talk about Brooklyn and Liverpool and Marseille really quickly. There's this connection between those three cities: Brooklyn, Liverpool, England, and Marseille in the south of France. They were all connected by the slave trade and also the sugar trade. And those two things are very tied together. But Brooklyn and Liverpool and Marseille are all three port cities that grew up kind of between the years of 1800 and 1860 up until the Civil War. And yeah, Brooklyn, Liverpool, Marseille. They have this strange connections because the slaves would get on the boats from Africa and they would go to Brooklyn. Well, first they would go to the Caribbean, and then they would make sugar, and some of them came to the US in the South, and then the sugar would get taken from Brooklyn to Liverpool and Marseille and to Africa, and this whole cycle. I didn't really know anything about this before we worked on Color Between the Lines. It's part of the magic of theater, actually. You can do a play about quantum physics if you want to understand something. But let's watch a clip of Sugar, which is a song from the show, and then we'll talk to Michael David Gordon, who is a historian of Brooklyn.
In Kings County, there was Queen Sugar, the Havamaya Townsend Company, where they stored sugar, refined sugar, 300,000 pounds a day. Oh, me. They first started in the city, but the city's way too crowded, still is. So they crossed the East River to Brooklyn. Williamsburg was so inviting, so they set up shop and kept selling. There's a penny to be made in saccharin, just as long as you don't, as long as you don't, as long as you don't. Everything is sweet, as long as you don't, as long as you don't, as long as you don't. Everything is sweet. Sugar comes from Jamaica, Louisiana, and the Indies. Then it's shipped all over the USA, the great USA. Hey! Cut by bleeding hands in blazing fields, where people whip them with great zeal. But that was A-okay, A-okay. So we can have our biscuits, our pork buns, and our coffee.
So Michael David, talk to us a little bit about Brooklyn. You are you're who I go to for anything Brooklyn. Talk to me about Brooklyn and how this piece related to Brooklyn and to you.
Well, I was born and raised in Brooklyn, in Bed-Stuy, and there was a house that was down the block from my house that was a hiding place for slaves, and we all knew that, even as kids. And you know, it was one of those houses where people would kind of make pilgrimages to, and I never understood that when I was a very small boy. When I became a teenager and I learned, you know, what that history was, it just became this very special place. And that is sort of my experience of Brooklyn, is that it seems like everywhere you turn, there's more history in terms of what has happened in this country. There's a saying, and I don't know how true the saying is that, you know, every 6 people can trace their history back through Brooklyn. I don't know if that's true, but doing this piece, Color Between the Lines, I was just blown away at how many intersecting pieces of history and how many people were connected and came through Brooklyn in some way. You know, the church that I went to as a child, Cornerstone Baptist Church on Gates Avenue, that was another place where Frederick Douglass spoke, you know, where slaves had gone through. And it's the place just reeks of that kind of history. So that when we did this project, it was, and you know, we were obviously doing it in Brooklyn. We're a Brooklyn-based theater company. It was just a lot of serendipity that came in, and the levels kept building on each other in terms of aha. You know, we like to talk about the aha moment at Irondale, those moments where, you know, 2 or 3 pieces of material come together and you go, aha, of course, that makes complete sense to me.
I totally get that. I think that the people in the chat room are wanting awards. We're gonna get to the awards.
That's not
Awards.
I
That's
promise.
Not, that's rude if I do that.
No, we're gonna get to the words. I promise.
They're like, stop talking and give me my
No.
award.
Seriously, but maybe this is more to the point. How does environment relate to art? And how does art relate to now? I'm thinking Ukraine, I'm thinking politics, I'm thinking like, what's the relevance of art? And why should these students keep doing art?
Because you've got to be able, first of all, you have to have a sense of what history is, of what has happened in history. So much of what goes on today, people pretend that it's the first time that something has happened. And that is almost never true. There's almost always a historical context for something that has happened, and it's happened before. And if you're able to understand that there is a history, that there is a community memory, an institutional memory, a civic memory, that gives you a framework that you're able to work in and to live in. Because otherwise what happens is that you're just running around in a panic and, you know, saying, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Sometimes you can look back at history and say, you know what, those folks, they managed this way. I can take from that and use that for what's happening right now. There's
no, I think those are wise words. I don't want to cut you off, but
no, please. Yes, let's move on.
No, that's very wise. Talk for 30 seconds about to protect, serve, and understand. Irondale has this amazing project where they work with police in New York City. Tell us about that.
We gather 7 police officers, working police officers, NYPD, and 7 civilians, and we bring them together to create a theater piece about the relationship in New York City between civilians and law enforcement. And we ask them to be as honest and as hard-hitting as possible. And it's incredible. And in fact, there are public showings tonight and tomorrow night here at Irondale. And the magic thing about it, and I say magic, I use that advisedly, but the magic is what I've discovered is, as a facilitator, is if you're able to stay in the room with your adversary, the other, if you're willing to stay in the room and struggle, anything can happen. Where supposedly there's no way we can agree on anything. We can't live together. It's actually not true. You can, if you're able to stay in the room and if you're willing to struggle.
And I'm reading the room right now, and the room says we need to move it along. So let's play the last clip, and then we'll talk to Nolan, and then I think we're going to have some awards.
Damon, I'm just gonna let this play in the background a little bit. We can start talking.
Well, you cut it all the way out. You can play it a little bit low. This is a piece called Draft Riots, and it was specifically kind of we don't need to get in the weeds about it. Talk to me about music, because the music in this show was created improvisationally, and you're a musical genius. This is Nolan Kennedy, by the way, everybody. But the writing of the music and creating music improvisationally.
Right. So this whole show is based on research. First, primary source material that was put together by a bunch of one particular historian, but a lot of people based on documents. So all this music was created out of actual personal stories. So it's taking this history and really putting it on stage and making it alive. And music is a wonderful venue for a whole bunch of stuff. So it can tell a story, it can tell emotion, just by how things sound. This particular song is pretty ominous because it was about a riot that happened in Manhattan.
Yeah. Talk to me about not being precious with ideas. This is something that you said to me.
Yeah, so I mean, in general, like when you have a piece of music and you're doing live art, you want it to be precise, but it has to be alive. And that's the same thing with history here, is that it has to stay alive. That's why we did this show, is because we needed to keep it full of energy and to keep telling these stories. So I think when things become precious, they become unchangeable. And as we know with history, like the more we look at it, the more we learn from it. History is not always exactly written the way that it's understood. And I think that's what I mean by when I say we don't want things to be too precious, because we need them to be able to change and bend.
For the students who are listening who don't necessarily think of all the multidisciplinary facets of theater, can you list the things that you do in theater? I'll add to it, but I'll start with actor.
Yep, I am an actor, I am a musician, I am a singer, I'm an improviser, I'm a teacher, I'm a lighting designer. I do a lot of lighting and photography stuff and other things too. I'm a writer. Yeah.
All right. I think we have to get these awards.
I think it's time. I think it's time.
The people need their awards.
Well, thanks for talking to us, Damon.
No, thank you. And congratulations to all of the students and everybody who's winning awards. Keep doing what you're doing, please, in the name of the planet and humanity. Yes to theater.
Hi, my name is Preethi Kanikamedulla. I'm an associate professor of history at Bronx Community College and at the Graduate Center of the City University of New York. And it is my distinct privilege and honor to announce this year's New York City History Day Award winners for 2022, hosted by the Center for Brooklyn History at Brooklyn Public Library. In the junior paper category, the award winners are: in third place, The Social Repugnance of Gay Marriage, What the Power of Love Can Do, by Jaylee Cuevas, from PS 71, Rose E. Scala School. In second place, The Play of a Former Leader, by Lillian Fang, from JHS 189, Daniel Carter Beard School. And in first place, World War I, The Failures and Debate on Diplomatic Endeavors, by Stanley Yu, from JHS 194, William Carr School. Congratulations to everybody in the Junior Paper Award category. And now for the Senior Paper Award winners. In third place, Tain't I a Woman? White Feminism and Its Obfuscation of Intersectional Oppressions, by Caitlin Correa, from Brooklyn Technical High School. In second place, A New Diplomacy, Indigenous Women and the Fight to End Forced Sterilization, by June Dorsch, from Poly Prep Country Day School. And in first place, To Shape the National Debate, The Coalition Against Détente Diplomacy, 1973 to 1981, by Isaiah Glick, from the Berkeley Carroll School. Congratulations to all of this year's award winners. As a professional historian, it is so exciting to be witness to a new generation of historians and scholars. Congratulations again.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jackson Gomes. I am the Young Adult Internship Coordinator for Brooklyn Public Library, and it gives me great pleasure to be presenting here today at the New York City History Day Awards ceremony. I'll be announcing the winners of the website category. So let's jump right into it. In our first category, the winners for the junior individual website are, in third place, the Elgin Debate, Preferred or Preserved by Avi Atik from Manhattan Day School. Our second place winners are the First Opium War, Opium Trade, Treaty of Nanking, Wing and Tan from PS49, Dorothy Bonnet Cole. Congratulations, Wing and Tan. And our first place winner in this category, Liberty versus the Virus, the Controversy over Vaccine Mandates by Sierra Barton from PS79, Rose East Scala. So congratulations, Sierra, coming in first. The winners from our junior group website are the Camp David Accords Lasting Framework for Peace by Nadevek Ackerman and Benjamin Sevinar from Manhattan Day School. Congratulations. Our second place winners are the Debate Legacy of Fritz Harbor, Aaron Cronenberg, Emmanuel Schwartz, and Noam Titz from Manhattan Day School. Congratulations. And our first place winner in this category is Fritz Harbor, the Chemist Revolutionized Agriculture and Warfare. So Anita Barjarki and Isabel Gajek from PS49, Dorothy Bonnet Cole. So congratulations, Anita and Isabel. Our next category is for senior individual website. And third place, Chernobyl Igniting the Decades of Debates, Pierce Wright. So congratulations, Pierce Wright. And our second place winner is West Point, Courage and Controversy, Charlotte Lesser from Convent of the Sacred Heart. So congratulations, Charlotte. And our first place winner in this category is International Success, Domestic Failure, and the first female prime minister in the changing of Sri Lanka's official language. So congratulations to Marissa Trioli from Polyprop County Day School. Congratulations, Marissa. And our next category, the winner for the senior group website are, in third place, Evolving Roles of Consumers, How to Direct-to-Consumer Advertising Gain to a Foothold in Healthcare. Michael Babev, Ayiv Ebunani, and Harship Singh from Townsend Harris High School. Congratulations, coming in third. Second place, the CITES Convention of 1989. Humans Can Play Nice and Elephants Pay the Price. Rachel Chan, Isabel Chan, Annie Han, and Gabriel San Juan from Townsend Harris High School. Congratulations. And our first place winner in this category is the Korean Armistice Disagreement. Ian Cho, Anastasia Cho, and Arelba Cho from Hunter High School. Congratulations on coming in first. Congratulations to all the winners. Thank you all for being part of this amazing opportunity. And I'm wishing you guys the best. Have a nice evening.
Hello, everyone. My name is Natiba Guy Clement, and I am the Assistant Director for Collections and Public Service at the Center for Brooklyn History. It is my distinct pleasure to announce the winners of this year's New York City National History Day contest. The winners for Junior Individual Exhibit are, in third place, 1936 Olympics, A Mockery of Fair Play, Inclusion, and Equality. Mira Saldana from JHS 104, Simon Baruch. In second place, the SS St. Louis, Failed Diplomacy at Sea, Noah Abihasera from Manhattan Day School. And in first place, the Central Park Obelisk, Misguided Diplomacy, Allison Wright. The winners for Junior Group Exhibit are, in third place, the League of Nations, How Diplomacy Failed to Prevent World War II, Iana Horwitz and Eve Reichschaffen from Manhattan Day School. In second place, Crisis Averted, Valerie Carpio, Isabella Fortunato, and Martina Kuzma from PS49, Dorothy Bonawhite Cole. In first place, Nuclear Disaster Meets Government Silence, Chernobyl, A Failure of Diplomacy, Anielle Malkin and Delilah Weiss from Manhattan Day School. The winners for Senior Individual Exhibit are, in third place, Rikers Island, A Humanitarian Crisis, Academy of American Studies. In second place, Children Blaze the Path of the Hearts of Nations, Jennifer Lai from Brooklyn Technical High School. In first place, Silence Equals Death, the Black Community Against AIDS in New York City, Matthew Cantor from Townsend Harris High School. The winners for Senior Group Exhibit are, in third place, The Sea of Teas, Unfairness and Blood, Maimuna Chowdhury and Suhi Ning from Brooklyn Technical High School. In second place, The Treaties of the US Government and the Sioux Nation, Audrey Lubitz, Ruther Rocker, and Jacob Schless from Brooklyn Technical High School. In first place, The Race and Gender Divide, Women's Suffrage and Black Women, Tasnim Hussein, Aidan Lawrence, Rachel Tan, and Sally Zhang from Townsend Harris High School.
Hello, everyone. My name is Michelle Memron. I am a documentary filmmaker, normally based in Brooklyn, but today I'm editing in Connecticut. And I am very, very excited to announce the winners for documentary for New York City History Day. And I've brought my favorite filmmaker with me. Her name is Agnes Varda. I don't know if you know her work, but she's made several really wonderful documentaries, and I highly recommend you check her out at some point. And I just have to say that looking at the list of these documentaries and the breadth and the depth and the timeliness and the vitality of them, it makes me really excited for the future of documentary filmmaking. So I'm really thrilled to be here. And if I mispronounce your name, apologies in advance. And let's do this. Okay. So the winners for Junior Individual Documentary are, in third place, The Bold Bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, Ilya Baskila from Manhattan Day School. Congratulations. In second place, we have Peace Out the Window, 30 Years War. Con Tran from PS49, Dorothy Bonawit Cole. Well done. And in first place, we've got a whole lot of monkey business. The Debate Over the Teaching of Evolution with Noam Lozen. Noam Lozen from Manhattan Day School. I hope I got that right. Congratulations, everyone. And congratulations to everyone who didn't win an award, because finishing a documentary film at all is an award in itself. Okay, So let's go on to the winners for the junior group documentary. And they are in third place, the Wagner-Rogers Bill, Jed Oliner and Meyer Prager from Manhattan Day School. In second place, 444 Days That Changed the US, Iran Diplomatic Relations Forever, Salma Awisi and Juliette Bonello from PS 49, Dorothy Bonnewitt-Cole. Congratulations, you two. And in first place, Shirley Chisholm, championing domestic workers through debate and diplomacy. Joanna Fabian, Lorenzo Guaman, Maria Manouslakis, Cecilia McConaughey, and Ariana Mendez from Hellenic Classical Charter School. Congratulations to everyone in that category. And we're going to move on to the winners for senior individual documentary. And they are in third place, The Dayton Accords, American Diplomacy That Ended the War in Bosnia and Brought Peace. Nicholas Vasilescu from Brooklyn Technical High School. Congratulations. In second place, we've got Iran-Contra Affair with Ronald Reagan, Presidential Saint or Sinner? Now that's the question. I guess I'll have to see the film to find out. Arithra Das from Academy of American Studies. Congratulations. And in first place, Debating Diplomacy in Space, the handshake that reinvigorated the Cold War. Lawson Wright from Horace Mann School. Congratulations, everyone. Okay, moving on to our last category. The winners for senior group documentary are, in second place, Where Should Censorship Draw the Line? Japan's Denial of Women's Victimization. Helen DeFalco, Mary Huerta, and Bianca Lee from Academy of American Studies. Congratulations. And in first place, we've got the Yalta Conference, Trials and Tribulations of the Big Three. Sophia DeRose and Brooke Klausner from Covent of the Sacred Heart. Congratulations, everyone. I need a new word for congratulations, but what can we do? Keep making films, and just as a little bit of encouragement, you know, it took me 15 years to make my first film. And it was about this woman who, and this was her quote, experimenting every step of the way. So here's to that, and here's to all of you. Thanks.
Hello, my name is Nolan Kennedy and I am a member of the Irondale Ensemble Project, and I am here to present the second place winners in the category of junior performance. Without further ado, the winners are Sophie Mouchel and Rebecca Sack from Manhattan Day School. Congratulations.
Hi, this is Damon Scranton. I'm with the Irondale Ensemble Project, coming to you from Pasadena, California. I am having the pleasure of announcing first place for the junior performance. And the winners are Debate in Diplomacy, From Ancient Greece to the United Nations. I've been working on these names. Ari Apergis, Vasiliki Christakos, Alexandra Danas, Michael Skuntos, and Nicoletta Sanas from the Greek School of Plato. Congratulations, you all. Nice job.
Hi, I'm Jim Mason. I'm the Artistic Director of the Irondale Ensemble Project. And the winners in the senior performance area are third place, the 1994 Major League Baseball strike, presented by Jacob Buron, Yuna Lee, and Diego Sarazzi from the Academy of American Studies. The second place honors go to Browsing the Pages of Asian American History, Silenced Accounts of Injustice Through the Lens of a Marginalized Minority, presented by Nicole Chen, Darren Kim, Erica Lee, and Christine Pack from Townsend Harris High School. Congratulations.
Hi, I'm Michael David, company member at the Irondale Ensemble Project, and I'm here to present the Senior Performance First Place Award. The project is Minor v. Happersett, the court case that made the 19th Amendment possible. And the winning team is Angeline Wakas, Carrie Lung, Jessica Lin, Lena Lin, and Julia Xia from Townsend Harris High School. Thank you so much. Congratulations. Please keep bringing history to us because we need it desperately.
Hello everybody, my name is Sam Durbin. I'm a park ranger with the education team here at Gateway National Recreation Area, which is a national park site right here in New York City with locations in Brooklyn, Queens, Staten Island, and even down in Sandy Hook, New Jersey.
And my name's Aubrey Rudy. I'm an AmeriCorps Vista under the Open Outdoors for Kids grant working on Gateway's education team. We are so excited to be sponsoring the Gateway National Recreation Area Award for an outstanding project on preservation of natural and historic landmarks in this 2022 New York City History Day competition.
Both of our winners today will be getting this awesome swag bag full of national park merchandise and this one-of-a-kind ticket, which gives them access to a ranger-guided, behind-the-scenes tour of one of our locations at Gateway. We can't wait to host our winner and their guests for this special look at Gateway.
Without further ado, here are our winners. From the junior division, congratulations to Allison Wright, the Central Park Obelisk, Misguided Diplomacy. And from the senior division, congratulations to Kara Neary, When Everyone Loses Their Marbles, the Art Restitution Debate. Thanks again to all the participants and congratulations to the winners.
Congratulations, everybody.
Hi, my name is Chloe Bass, and I'm a Brooklyn-based artist and the co-director of Social Practice CUNY, which is a project that works with artists at the intersection of creativity and social justice in the City University of New York system. It is my honor to announce the winners of the Outstanding Project on the History of Social Action Special Award. In the junior division, the prize goes to The Velvet Revolution, When Diplomacy Works. And that project was by Alexa Campana and Nicole Harvin from PS 49 Dorothy Bonowit Cole. Congratulations to Alexa and Nicole. In the senior division, the prize goes to The Debate on the Ban of the Birth of the Nation by Anastasia Purba from Brooklyn Technical High School. Congratulations to the winners, and I hope that you have a wonderful time at the awards ceremony.
I'm pleased to announce the winners for the Outstanding Project on the History of People of Color in the United States Special Award. The Junior Division, Fred Shuttlesworth and the Debate Over Provocative Civil Engagement. Sienna Lays from the Spire Legacy School. Senior Division, The Debate on Eminent Domain. What constitutes public use and who is affected? Alexia Kalman from the Brooklyn Technical High School.
Hello, I'm Linda Johnson, President and CEO of Brooklyn Public Library. I'm thrilled to announce the winners of the Special Award for Outstanding Projects on Women's History. May I have a drum roll, please? All right, no drum roll. The Junior Division winners are Emily Chen and Vicky Shi from the Fort Hamilton School for their project, the Seneca Falls Convention. The Senior Division winner is Caitlin Correa from Brooklyn Tech for her project, Ain't I a Woman? White Feminism and its Obfuscation of Intersectional Oppressions. Congratulations, Emily, Vicky, and Caitlin, for your insightful work.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sonia Oxford. I'm the Regional Coordinator for the New York City History Day contest. Thank you all for joining us for the 2022 awards ceremony, and congratulations to all of our students. The first, second, and third place projects will move on to the New York State contest, so you'll be hearing from me shortly about that. In the meantime, here is a video of all of the winning projects. Thank you all so much for joining us. Have a good night.